YouTube, and I'm Addict Nerd. Today we're going to be doing a new series. It's the first episode of it. I call it In a Pickle because I'm going to be basically saying a strategy for a country if some sort of common mistake happened and how you can try and revive it. Today we'll be looking at a problem that the UK sometimes faces, and that's losing Africa. So that's 11 IPCs, which is a major blow to the British economy. As you can see, they are only at 19. And the Germans would be at 51, having only Africa. But unless I set them up taking Leningrad, because I'm just saying, they probably would in a situation like this. Now, no, none of these changes are absolutely what would happen. It's kind of a best guess that the Germans would have not gained complete naval superiority at this time. The British would be winning, yet they're still a presence. Depending on who you're playing with or just what happens, every game's different. This is not super close to setup, but what we're really trying to explore is just the absence of Africa, and the main hitter is IPCs. So you want to get it back, because Africa is a large expanse of very few IPC territories. And its closest industrial complex is India. So this person might have not put in enough with Egypt. Maybe the South African troops didn't move up fast enough. The Germans / from Italy broke through and took all of Africa, mainly using tanks to blitz. This is probably the turn they took it, so that's why 4 tanks came down here. Because in most games where Germany takes Africa, there is a kind of last stand in South Africa, though almost always fails because it's so much harder to get to than Egypt. And it's really not so cold, and yeah, it's very good. So then, how are you going to fix this mess? You want to move fast. Especially the Americans are the key to this. Now see, Britain is a very powerful nation at the start. Though if they do the wrong moves, they can kind of become a very bad nation. Fast. And that's what happened with Africa. So you need the US to bail them out now. Now, I say the US has built up a fleet. If the US hasn't really built up a fleet, the Germans get a defensive line going. Yeah, UK is pretty badly hurt. Now, if they have built up more than like an infantry and artillery in Morocco, if the US is trying an Operation Torch, which is definitely the best way since it's 2 away, you can all French West Africa is also 2 away, yet it probably will have more defense. Though if it doesn't, that is an option. Another reason why it's easier to argue for Morocco is its closeness to Gibraltar, which, if you need to, you can send fighters or whatever down to try and help. So the Americans, they need to build up a fleet. Hopefully they already have that done. And ship everything they can over to Morocco. Now, Britain, their involvement in this is a little less direct. They aren't really going to be trying, or at least mainland UK is not really going to be trying to retake Africa. Maybe via India, yet even that is going to be hard. So let's look at from mainland. The best way you can strike at Germany is considering that you have gotten, in this scenario, hopefully I've gotten naval superiority. And you might be able to come down to the channel if you already don't have your navy consolidated there and try and land troops. Build more transports. Just be as big of a menace as possible. Try and take France. Try and take Northwestern Europe. Try and take Norway. These things will cause the Germans to have to divert forces from the Soviets, or if they really don't want to do that, they'll have to stop helping the African front. So as America comes in, that even if they don't hit their first time, they can build up, while the Germans can't if you are attacking very aggressively. Now, the problem with this is you will have not very many IPCs, so rebuilding is quite hard. So you're going to probably rely mostly on an air force that can be reused. Just infantry and air force. Yeah. It's pretty bad, but it can work under certain circumstances because you can build a ton of infantry and then over time have an air force hopefully built up before Africa falls, because I don't know what you're doing if you're not protecting Africa. Probably sinking them somewhere else, or you really inexperienced. But yeah, so hopefully you'll have a big enough air force that you can devote so many IPCs to infantry so they can take all the hits, and your air force can inflict hits. If you're lucky, you might get 1 or 2 hits from the infantry. Now, the alternative strategy is from India. Try and push through Persia into Transjordan and through there. This strategy is very different, but it's a more direct approach. And if the American player is not doing very well, like if the American player is new, since America's a really good nation to start out as, so if they're new, you might have to do this approach, which is basically ignore the Japanese, have a ton of infantry to just defend there, and send everything through Transjordan and try and open it up before they can ship units down, because India will probably be drained. So this is probably blowing up infantry here, having tanks here, so you don't know that you're actually attacking them. Blitz! Sorry about that cough. But then you want to take your tanks, take an infantry build up here. And if you have your tanks in India, they might not realize you're going to attack Transjordan. Blitz through, take Transjordan, and hopefully Egypt before they can get any real amount of troops to try and defend. From there, you've kind of separated them, and these troops are a matter of whittling away. Anyway, that was the first video for this new series called In a Pickle. Hope you enjoyed, and I'm going to put an iCard polling up in the corner, and so you can vote whether you liked this video or didn't. Anyways, hope you enjoyed, and goodbye.